it's kind of, I've seen a lot of players underestimate the Hunter damage.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been there. It's just, it's difficult to find a team composition that really complements the Hunter. You know, you almost have to have another class that you can bait with that's more attractive a target. And I think the DK generally is for Wizards because he does so much damage, he can mitigate their CC that they want to use. They want him to use his cooldowns quickly. They want to get AMS off the board so that he can be CC'd and swapped to. So going on the DK is almost a must for an MLS, and that leaves the Hunter open for a second. You know, really what you would... You know, ideally what they would want to do in this situation from the OMG side of things is not allow themselves to get put into a position where AMS is down almost instantly and Sleeping gets put into CC because that's pretty much a death sentence for Young Yup. But we saw they're able to play around Game Sense's positioning abilities. Even with Rodriguez throwing out very, very good rings, clutch Novas, and I saw some awesome fears out of Dakroth there, a few really clutch interrupts, and Drudenhouse was playing good positioning with Rodriguez as well, which explains why he lived half as long as he did versus that Hunter damage.
Yeah, I was impressed by Gucci's play as a Paladin. You know, that could have been a very stressful situation for them, but he didn't panic whatsoever, able to play all that line of sight game down bottom.
And that was good. That was very smart of them to go down bottom. I was hoping they would, and I'm glad they did, because it does give them an advantage. You know, even though the lock can portal back up, forcing that portal generally leaves the mage down bottom, because Rodriguez was not playing topside like I personally would have liked to see. I would like to see more of a top presence at the very beginning of that match. They relinquished top and never properly retook it. And that is a bit of a deal for MLS. It's a deal breaker, especially against PHDK.
And that is very true. And
at the end of the
day, I love
day,
how they're swapping the damage.
Tunnel damage.
Yep. The damage
Hunter,
was going on to Dakroth.
Tunnel damage. That's all they need to do is be on Young Yup, tunnel damage. That needs to be their strat. And they will mitigate a lot of this damage coming their way.
They definitely will. All right, so on your screen right now, of course, the team of GameSense DNAW is down 1-0 right now to OMG. And it was that massive amount of damage onto the mage from beginning to end.
I mean, natural counter, man.
And I like how they start so offensively right from the start. That blazing speed on the first shot whatsoever.
Yeah, like it, man. Rodriguez, he does win the
they do not like that pet
basis.
whatsoever. The pet gets dotted up. That monkey taking a lot of damage. You're trying to kill some quite early.
I'm sorry, it's a Hunter pet.
And this is an interesting start. You know, the team of OMG playing a lot more passive than the beginning. I like when teams show up to tournaments with many different openers.
This is silly. This is playing off there. I mean, just all those crits out of Lance and his bolt crit as well. You can see that DK is a very viable target.
This is what GameSense needs to do to get back into it. They are pulling the team all the way back. Their Paladin was playing so defensively before.
Yeah, and Sleeping caught into that ring, brought out by damage, but Rodriguez is still in trouble. He doesn't have enough peels coming off the Dakroth.
All right, so Rodriguez is trying to get even into line of sight, as you can see the team of OMG resetting yet again. Really good idea at this point. Gucci wasn't doing too well on mana. Down to half, has already bubbled, I do believe. Yep, he has forbearance on him.
Yep, Drudenhouse just sat for a drink. You've got Dakroth and Rodriguez up top, controlling the top side of Blade's Edge, and that is exactly where you have to be as MLS if you're going to
that. Apolly onto Gucci right after that deep freeze. Sleeping, though. Down to half, and look at that. Back up yet again. Choosing the Lichborn right there, so he's not going to be able to be cleared, which was a great idea right before. Could have been reaction to the Howl of Terror.
Rodriguez gets super aggressive with that ring and does not catch Sleeping in it. He's just maybe half a yard out, unfortunately. And that's going to allow him to stay on him. And you see Rodriguez taking a lot of damage.
A very smart hand of sacrifice right there onto Sleeping. It's going to mitigate half the damage. Damage going to Gucci, which is going to break a lot of crowd control. And that's going to fade finally. 40,000 hit points on Sleeping, and they coil him away. Oh, if they can land a counter shot, he's going to take a lot of damage. And there he goes.
Yeah,
great ending crowd control onto Gucci right at the end, and all it takes is that little bit.
Yeah, I like that. They stayed up top, they put out the pressure, and then when the time was right, they just dropped down, used major cooldowns, CC that PHDK, which is their only weakness. It is the only weakness they have against MLS, is they have fewer defensive cooldowns.
Look at that, now it's tied all up.
That can be used offensively.
Now the one thing I like about these game stats is sometimes you can tell exactly the kind of strategy that these players are playing, especially when you watch a DK. If you don't see those massive burst numbers, it means that they're using a lot of those runes on Necrotic Strike, and that helps out a whole lot when you have a Hunter dumping a massive amount of damage into his target.
Yep, and every time Silencing Shot was up, you saw him switch targets between Dakroth and Rodriguez, and it's highly effective. You know, it really makes Jordanhouse overwork to heal, but their positioning was just leagues better than the first map, as you saw, and they were able to keep it together. So I would definitely like to see them play more like that if GameSense is going to be able to take out this PHDK. But honestly, OMG is just playing a really sharp counter game to theirs. And the damage is there. The positioning was just a bit of a problem for them on Blade's Edge. Like I said, Blade's Edge and Sewers of Dalaran is exactly what GameSense wants to see. Those are the maps they want to fight on every single time.
Yeah, I thought our first match was going to be on Dalaran, actually, but it ended up being the other team, and that would be a rough ride for OMG.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not only do you have the boxes which help out a Shaman more than a Paladin. You know, you have the multi-access with the lock right there.
Yeah. The lock's going to be able to get out so much. The Hunter's disengage becomes more risky. You know, a bad disengage throws you off the edge. You're caught in an NACC out of position, you're dead. So, you know, disengage does become, I think, less valuable unless they have a solid command of middle and Sewers, which honestly isn't exactly where they want to play.
All right, so let's see if we can get these team in. It looks like the players are ready. Yeah, they look nice and ready. I'm going to launch this game right now. So it's 1-1 right now. Love these 1-1 games.
Okay. I've asked you guys a few times to make some noise. This is the last match of the day. It is tied 1-1. OMG from South Korea, who beat Team EG on that side stage versus GameSense DNAW. Can I hear some noise from the crowd at Blizzcon 2011?
All right.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Much better.
All right, where are my hunters? Where are my hunters? All right, guess what map it is?
It's one guy.
Is it Ring of Valor? It is Ring of Valor. This is going to be rough.
Rough does not begin to describe the hurt MLS is about to feel.
All right. So as you can see on your screen, GameSense, DNAW top left. And this map is not what they wanted to see whatsoever. Wide open areas. A Hunter's going to have line of sight constantly.
It's like
disengage around pillars.
It's like an amusement park for a Hunter, man. Disengage is always clutch. Traps hit like everybody all day. It's just the best.
Right. And I love the synergy that these to the Hunter and the DK. I mean, their switches have been perfect every time.
Oh yeah. I mean, as long as Sleeping can continue to save that AMS for late in their burst, he'll continue to stay up through everything Rodriguez and Dakroth have been throwing at him.
All right. We're going to follow Rodriguez. Followed him last time. Let's watch the Hunter because Young Yup has been doing so much damage. As you can see him getting right in the center right from the start. And these Korean teams prepare so many opening strategies. Now they're going specifically on the Shaman, that Necrotic Strike. Wow. Able to get that off with a, oh wow, look, there's so much damage coming out, already having to Spirit Link Totem, HOJ on top of Necrotic Strike. When he's out of this Necrotic Strike, he's gonna be in trouble. Silencing and Strangulate on top. Jordanhouse, you are in trouble.
Where your health bar at, bro?
Oh, and there he goes. Wow.
Enter Ring
crowd
of Valor.
Control after crowd control.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you have to do. You line up on somebody. I like that they picked a target that hadn't done anything.
That is dirty.
They're like, oh, there's the Shaman. Yeah. Remember, Shamans are super killable?
Oh, yeah.
Dead.
Oh, hey, you're the only one that can heal? I'm going to HOJ you. Then we're going to stack Necrotic Strike on, so even if you're out, you're in trouble.
And, you know, Young Yup, his rapid fire was mitigated almost entirely by Polymorph, and it still was not enough.